Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lost Hyperspace with T.J Hamada. But your co-host Matthew Manchester is also here with us.
Watch, everyone.
And TJ, welcome, TJ. Welcome
Hello, thanks for
back.
having me back.
I don't know why I'm
Long time
excited
no see.
to have you here after a long time, man. We have not had you in our podcast in
Yeah,
a
when
long
when
time.
was when was I on last? Was that some months ago?
Yeah, it was definitely before the Acolyte.
Yeah, it was Tales of the Empire, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
was on Milan and Linsky was on then too.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think that was the last time we had you guys on. Yeah, it's been months. It's been at least 3 months since we had you in our podcast. But yeah, we're here to talk about one of the most exciting Lego Star Wars Lego Rebuilt the Galaxy. We want to hear a little bit from you. What did you think of this?
I thought it was amazing. I went in with extremely high hopes and high
Hmm.
expectations, and I was not in any way disappointed. It was just fabulous. I
Yeah.
can say this is the first time in a long time, probably the first time since the Mandalorian, like Mandalorian season one,
Hmm.
that I've gone into a Star Wars project going, this is going to be the best thing ever. And then it genuinely was the best
Yeah.
thing ever.
Yeah, I think that's the same feelings I had too. Definitely when I entered it, I was just like, I know, I was kind of afraid, I was kind of like, this might not be as fun as I thought. And I was like, wow, okay. Like I was like, they're pulling out. This is for fandom. They really pulled it off, and I pretty much really enjoyed every single bit of it. But Jar Jar Binks' return, that's one of my
Oh
They just
yeah.
question I
they
had about.
they just prove that they're very good at animation. They've been doing
Yes.
animation for so long, a lot, and
Yes.
they started
Animation.
turning everything to live action.
The animation for this too was
It
really
was
good.
this is the best Lego Star Wars animation they've ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, by a long shot. So
They
much
just
detail and
go.
work went into that.
Legos just cannot go without making a joke out of everything.
Yes.
Whenever there's a potential joke to have, they
Mhm.
do it.
They delivered a lot. I really enjoyed it. I felt like so one of the things I felt like I watched a full-length movie after watching the entire episode. I just felt like I watched a Lego movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
a Lego Star Wars movie with a full story behind it. And with a little bit of, hint is what would happen next.
Season
If
two,
they do
season
season
two.
two. But yeah.
Yes. Yes, make more.
Mhm.
Please, Lego. Disney, please let Lego make more of this.
Yeah. But what did you think of Jar Jar, Darth Jar Jar?
I loved it. I couldn't help but think that it's a fun piece of irony because you were actually the first person to tell me about the theory of Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I wasn't really up to speed on all the Star Wars theories and stuff. And so it was after Force Awakens came out
Hmm.
that you guys were the first ones to tell me that the joking theory that Snoke was actually Darth Jar Jar Binks. And so I thought that was hilarious. And then of course since then I've realized that that's a huge joke in the fandom.
Hmm.
I love the how it should have ended skit for Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
where it turns out that Jar Jar was the Sith Lord the whole time. And this, it honestly felt like it was pulled straight out of that.
I really liked that. I really Darth Jar Jar. I never thought Disney was going to actually do it. I thought, yeah, this
Well,
has been
that
in fandoms for years, and I don't think they
they've
really care so
done
much.
things like this before. People talking about Maul coming back, they finally did that. People talking about Boba Fett surviving the Slack, they finally did that.
It's
But
true.
Darth Jar Jar is the next level that I did not even think they
It
would.
is.
And
It is.
I think Lego having Darth Jar Jar as a Lego, I can't really think like if they were to have a live action Darth Jar
Nah.
Jar, that would definitely not go well. At least they put
Yeah,
it
that would just
just
be
the fact that they
weird.
put into Lego made that hilarious.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I mean, my,
definitely.
my feeling is like Jar Jar, he was a good character, like a good person. Honestly, he was pretty well developed too, especially if
Hmm.
you watch all the Clone Wars stuff. But the one thing that Jar Jar Binks never was, and I don't care how you slice it, he was not cool. He was not cool.
He was
He had
not
a lot
cool.
of good things, but
No,
cool was not one. And now
no.
he's cool.
He's cool. He's cool.
But the
Just turn him to
set
Darth
part
Jar Jar.
makes sense.
You get a cool Darth Jar Jar. You get a cool Darth Jar Jar, of course. And I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed his character, but sadly, seeing some of the comments, a lot of people are disappointed that they really put him into the advertisement and then they just have him in that one single episode. I thought he was going to be like our main villain.
So that's, I mean, the
Wow.
one issue I have with the show is precisely that on all counts.
Yeah.
This show was way, way, way too short.
Yeah.
I feel like just about every character in this show pretty much deserved a 25-minute episode of their own.
I really enjoyed every character. I don't know. I liked Darth Rose and
Yes!
Darth Ray. I mean Reyes.
And I love how they gave Darth Rose I can't remember the name of the medal, but her little like metal necklace ornament.
Yeah, from her.
It was from her sister
From
in
her
Last
sister.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like those characters better that way, you know, in the movie. And I think
It was good. Yeah.
they redeemed those characters pretty well.
Yeah, they were
And Ray
fantastic.
being a bad guy now, does Ray.
Yes.
Do people have problems with that?
I see a lot of good comments. Some people think she's better.
Well, a lot of people had problems with the fact that Darth Ray was like, she was teased kind of with the trailer for Rise of Skywalker, like she was going to be a big thing, and everyone was like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. And then it was nothing. It was just a little vision. And I think a lot of people were disappointed that Darth Ray wasn't in real Star Wars anymore.
And now we get to see her as a Star Wars character. And I actually thought it was pretty fun to see Darth Ray. And about Darth.
And then, you know, someone's a bad guy is kind of hard to think. Well, was a good guy.
Yeah.
What did you think of the story in this?
The story, I mean, starting with a critique, it was too fast. I feel like it would have been better suited to being about 3 or 4 times as long. But it was very good, very satisfying, extremely shocking.
Yeah.
Like, it was way darker than I expected. Just literally like, yeah, canon is completely erased and we're never going back. It was like, whoa, that's intense.
I thought that too. I was
The thing about Lego though is that they have been doing Star Wars stuff for a long time, and they kind of actually have their own system of alternate canon that's kind of consistent with itself. Like if you've seen the Padawan Menace and some of the jokes about Han being Ian, those carry over into, say, the Yoda Chronicles, and then you have references to characters from the Yoda Chronicles like Rusty the Ithorian, who is in Droid Tales, and he was in Rebuild the Galaxy.
Oh, wow.
Because remember when they're like the Darth this, Darth that, and then the Ithorian comes out and is like, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. That is the running joke from Yoda Chronicles and Droid Tales, that there's this Ithorian Jedi, and his name is Rusty. Nobody can ever remember who he is, and he just hates it so much. And so they have their own kind of system of canon. And it seems like in more recent years, what they've done is they've done all their like post-sequel stuff. So like the holiday special, the Christmas one, the Halloween one, summer vacation one. And now if it's any indication, they seem to be saying, we're done with that. We have now made an alternate galaxy. So when we make Lego stuff, it's going to be taking place in this world.
Right. One of the Jedis that honestly, one of my big favorite Jedi that I never thought they would ever even name a Jedi Bob.
Jedi Barbarian, hey Paul. Barbarian,
eh?
Yeah, I just find it interesting that they said there's nowhere going back, but I'm also getting curious about Jedi Bob.
Well, I mean,
they can go back in that time period too, right?
They could. It's basically a reference to the fact that if you look back at Lego Star Wars products, like go back and look at the sets that they were making when the prequels were coming out. They look so different. They almost look like they're from a completely different galaxy, because everybody has yellow skin and faces that really have like no expression. And everything is super simplistic. And I mean, that Jedi Bob was actually a minifigure in those old sets. That's why he's here now. So
when I first saw, I laughed at the idea at first when I seen the Jedi. When he first appeared, I was like, really? They named the Jedi Bob?
Well, they didn't. The fans did. Well, because it wasn't it a set? There was like in like 2002, it was an Attack of the Clones set, and it had a minifigure. that nobody could figure out, and to this day nobody can figure out what Jedi this minifigure is supposed to be from the
Yeah.
movie. So the fans just called him, well, it's Jedi Bob.
Jedi Bob.
Don't call me Jedi Bob, and then call me Jedi Bob.
Call me
You can
Jedi
do it.
Bob. Actually, I take that back. I hate that.
I hate that.
There's inconsistency. That'll be like the only inconsistency there, right?
One of the shocking things is the Nerf herder. They actually showed us Nerf herders too.
Okay, so you might know this. Did Lego make up what Nerfs look like, or is that something?
Yeah, that's
established by
some.
canon
No,
already?
that's something Lego totally
We've
made
never
up.
seen a Nerf in canon.
What is in there?
I mean,
Kind of
I
animal.
think we know there's some kind of livestock, but
Yeah.
when I saw them in Lego, I thought, oh, those actually look really cool. I was
I like
figuring they
them.
must have based it on something, but
Yeah,
Big.
was nerf herding some animals in the beginning of the episode, and I thought that was a pretty cool design. Honestly, I didn't think that was a bad design. One of my
They
friends
look
was like,
great.
one of my friends reached out and said, "Wait, that's the first time I've seen a nerf."
look, if Lego is ever actually going to make those and put them in sets, I would love them.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah.
They look like they belong in Star Wars. Like they look like kind of a mix of a Wampa, a Bantha, a Tauntaun, and a Reek.
Yeah. But I really like the ending of it and the tease at the end. Were you expecting that?
Well, so it took me a long time to watch this because I'm actually really busy right now.
Yeah.
And so I had seen at some point some phrase Landalorian and Grogu. So
Yeah.
in the back of my head, I had seen, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
And also when the episode was about to play, the
Mhm.
first thing it showed, like the banner, was
Mhm.
Grogu. And so as the episode was ending, I was watching it with some friends, and I was even like, "Hey, Grogu wasn't in this episode, and it's over now. Why isn't Grogu in it?" And then it was the final scene. And I mean, we've all seen the connection before, Lando
Yeah.
and Mando, but it's
Lando
Right,
Mando.
the elf.
Lando
like,
Mando.
You heard about elf on the shelf.
call me the Landalorian.
Lorian. I thought that was so fun, and I thought that was a great idea, especially when we saw the Maul Lando. I call him Maul Lando.
Oh, yeah.
because he was literally wearing.
He was like
Oh,
the mall, but it was like mall, but he was supposed to be Lando.
you know what he reminds me of? Because this kind of like alternate universe is something me and some of my friends have done a lot of, where
Mhm.
we will take basically just monologue through characters and be completely not caring who's good and who's bad. They're just all like buddies living in an apartment or something.
Mhm.
And in our silly version, Maul is a video game designer. He designs video games.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
Obi-Wan's favorite video game is one that Maul designed, but he doesn't know that Maul was the one who designed it because he has an online alias and stuff. So honestly, this Maul reminded me a lot of our funny
Yeah.
Maul.
What about Luke Skywalker? What's your opinion on that character? Luke from Tatooine.
I saw of him as like a Silboba.
Yeah,
Isn't
Silboba.
that episode 1?
How about you,
Yeah.
how about you, TJ?
I mean, say he was one of the least like really kind of exciting characters. It was
Mhm.
a lot of other characters I was more like, yes,
Yes,
this is amazing. Luke, it was more like, ha ha ha. But I like how they basically combined the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy Luke in both, because he is still Luke. So
Yeah.
he does have that sequel kind of, leave me alone. I just want to do my own thing in my own place. Then he also has that original trilogy Luke. Hey, it's fun to save the galaxy. And I think it was kind of fun to do both. And then having him be like the super rich guy who's paying for everything was a hilarious.
He was like, I'm not
Luke's
paying
money.
for anything. Luke's money is your money.
What can I say? Luke's money is yours.
It's your money.
my
I
boy.
gotta say, I really enjoy this version of Luke.
I like his necklace. He's got the necklace
The
that
Padme.
Anakin gave Padme.
Yeah,
in
and I was
Phantom
wondering, how in the world did he get it? Darth Vader.
He didn't explain anything about Padme.
How about the Jedi?
Still his father.
The Jedi Council. What did you think of that?
That was great. That was so that was probably the best part.
my
That was
goodness.
just amazing.
I
we knew
could not
Jedi
stop
Vader was
laughing.
coming. Jedi Jabba, that cracked me up. He's one of those characters that I kind of felt like I could have just had a whole episode of them going on an adventure with Jedi Jabba. But I do think my favorite character in this entire show is my favorite character in just about every Lego project, and that is Palpatine.
Yeah.
Never
He's
disappoints.
Master Palpatine, not
Master Palpatine.
Master
Darth
Palpatine.
Vader.
Unlimited
Wow.
Just like a Sith thing to me.
He just
Why
let it
is
out.
the Jedi looking for ultimate power now?
He just let it out, and I just thought it was so fun to watch his character and just him being
Unlimited
Jedi
power.
in general was just on. When I was going through the series, that's not what I expected at all. Darth Vader and
There's
Palpatine.
now Jedi Vader.
Now people are wondering what's your theory on what's possibly going to happen if they do a season 2, and what do you think? Some of our guests wanted to know who will we see and which side do you think they will be on, like Obi-Wan, Mando. Now a lot of people are wondering, where is Mando now?
Yeah, what
Don't
Din Djarin is
get
going to be
Mando.
like.
Is he a different character now?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I guess I've seen people suggesting that Obi-Wan could be a Sith, which I think would be funny, but I also think that's unlikely.
Mhm.
I think Obi-Wan, you know what I could see Obi-Wan being more like a sort of like punk rebel biker guy, like those kids in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
He could have like mechanical body parts and a big motorcycle bike thing like the kids in the Book of Boba Fett. I could see
They could
I could
actually
see that-
make him a real version of Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor used to be a motorcycle rider.
Yeah,
So,
that would be funny to sort of pay homage to Ewan McGregor with
Yeah.
a biker Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
Kylo Ren is another character who was conspicuously absent. He appeared there in that little when Sig
In the
is telling
beginning.
the story.
Yeah.
And I've thought about like, what would they do with Kylo Ren if he were in it?
JK had a crazy question
Wait.
for you.
Kylo Ren would be half Rhodian.
Oh,
Maybe Obi-Wan should have maybe Obi-Wan should have the mix up have more back leg.
Oh yes, Obi-Wan could have robotic legs.
Kind of like what
like
happened with
Maul, like
Maul.
opposite from Maul.
He's got to be married to Satine.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Obi-Wan cut Maul in half.
Maybe if he
and
actually gets that.
with Melham.
Jake's question was like, hey guys, I'm excited to see TJ Hamada in the podcast. And he says, what do you think happened to Vader? Because he's still wearing his Vader outfit.
I would say
That's why I was
my
like, what?
guess is that if I had to go with what Lego would do,
Yeah.
he probably had just some kind of freak accident or something. And didn't actually, it wasn't like a fight or anything that he lost and got burned or something. He probably fell on a dumb contraption or something, and then they had to put him back together. And I can imagine the Jedi are all like, what should we dress him like? Palpatine comes up with a design that's totally not Vader at all, and then something goes wrong and they end up making him look like Darth Vader.
But then why?
That makes sense.
White, not black.
Yeah, his outfit is white.
Yeah.
And people are like, Vader just switched race. He went from black and white. And I thought that was hilarious. Top comment there. Top comment. That was funny. And I loved it.
I want to see him in action.
Yeah,
like we got to see Jedi Vader do some Jedi stuff.
Jedi Palpatine didn't express any lightning.
No, I mean if he's a Jedi, then I mean that's kind of a Sith thing.
Wait,
oh man, I really wish it was long. I have
the question. No, I have the question. Do you think Luke and Leia are siblings and Vader is actually their father? I mean, they changed everything in the original galaxy.
And also he just found out. And he also just found out too, so yeah.
That was the case in the original.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think?
Changed everything. They could have changed that.
I mean, the implication is that they are still siblings. I mean, Sig says he tells them, and then Vader
That's from his galaxy.
seems to be acting. Vader and Luke seem to consider each other father and son. So,
and also
they want to pull a twist on it or something, then it seems like they are.
And also the way he also when he's like that helmet seems so familiar.
Yeah,
some kind of had some memory of the helmet. He just wanted to be Luke from Tatooine, and he cheated on that race.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he said he seems like a Boba.
He's so happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like questioning, was Anakin cheating the entire time by using the Force to know what was going to happen? Like, well, was he not? Was Luke cheating by pulling another person's engine apart.
Okay, last question. What do you hope for season 2? And how would you rate this from 1 out of 10?
Rating it 1 out of 10, I would have to give it only a 9 because it was too short. The content was 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
11 out of 10, but it was a bit too rushed. I would have preferred to see something like Freemaker Adventures, which was really drawn out and you had a lot of time to explore things. For the future, I would say probably my top characters that I want to see more of would be Han, Maul, the Jedi Council. So I would hope to see more done with those.
Leia and Greedo.
Leia and Greedo.
Yeah, that thing that was very interesting.
I'm not sure I like that, but it was hilarious. I'll give it that.
That interesting of Han Solo.
I didn't like it so much. I thought that
Yeah.
funny.
Han Solo.
Yeah, it was kind of like, ooh, but boy, it is funny.
Yeah, Han Solo's jealous.
Han Solo wanted Leia. That didn't change.
Yeah.
That didn't change either. Well, thank you, TJ, for joining us here, and we appreciate you for joining us.
I
And-
wonder if the
having me.
fans
This was
will.
fun.
I wonder if the fans will demand Jar Jar back.
Yeah, we need Darth Jar Jar
Well, we
back.
didn't see him die. They dropped something on him, but
And
they
his
also
lightsaber flew
blew
away.
the Gonk droid apart and then
Yeah.
just put him back
Back
together.
together,
So
yeah.
I think it's safe to say
It's
Jar Jar is
Lego.
open
No
for
one really dies.
Yeah, I think we might see him again. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, TJ, for joining us here. And guys, don't forget to subscribe for more episodes that will be coming up. And yeah, TJ, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Until then, guys, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Always.